Good evening and welcome to the Trading the Tech Show. My name is Derek. This is iLi Academy, and today is Thursday, April 22nd, 2021. So we're going into the of the last day of the week as far as trading. So we're in our Friday now and beginning to trade. So we'll see what occurs here, as far as the final day. So just looking at the Dow yesterday, it was off 321.41 points to 33,815.90. So not a good day at all. The way the futures were setting up this morning, it didn't look like we were going to have an off day, but you can see that during the morning we did trade off a little bit, but then as time wore on through about 1 o'clock, we actually went positive for the day, and then the cliff came. So right at about 107, it looks like there. Right after 107, we just fell off the wagon there. Between 1 and 2 o'clock, we just plummeted here. So we recovered a little bit of that move down. We probably recovered maybe a good 20 or 30% of the move back, but we didn't recover much. So I have a feeling tomorrow might be a down day as well. If there's any type of recovery, maybe it'll be a slight recovery because we traded off so hard in the last few days. But or at least this week we've had a couple of days that were down, and then we traded off yesterday pretty strongly. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. We'll see how traders really feel about today, whether they feel like they went too far, or and normally when you fall off like this, it's due to some type of news event. And I know that there were some things going on. They were talking about maybe Joe Biden, announcing extra taxes or more taxes on the wealthy. So that might have been, what caused us to tumble a little bit yesterday. If that's the case, that's something the market may get over tomorrow and may actually, decide, well, some stocks are cheap, so we're going to buy. So we'll have to see what occurs there. Now, the S&P 500 was off 38.44 points to 4,134.98. The Nasdaq was down 131.81 points to 13,818.41, and the Russell 2000 was down 7 points to 2232.61. The VIX is actually up 18.71, up 1.21 points. So when that VIX rises, we tend to get that fall in the Dow. So that's, as the VIX is rising, our Dow is falling. So we're going to see how that's impacted our trading. Definitely wasn't the greatest, trading for us, obviously, because we were falling so hard. But at the same time, this might present opportunities for us as these stocks. I mean, or as the stock market pulls back, then we kind of get these pullbacks in our cross pairs as well. So as far as the Aussie CAD goes, right now we're trading below our 720. However, our long-term moving average 50, 100, and 200 are still above that 720. Our 50 is almost crossing over the 720 right now, but the 100 and 200 still have a lot of distance. I'd place my order to buy on this 100. That would be my first opportunity. The 200 would be the second opportunity for us. As far as the Aussie yen goes, we're trading below our 720. All the moving averages are are in order to the downside here. And so we've got a full mature trend to the downside. We're pulling back now, but we didn't quite make it to our 50. We're going to wait on pullbacks towards our 50 or 100 to short. As far as the Aussie New Zealand goes, we're trading here below our 720. All the moving averages are below as well. So we're waiting on pullbacks past the 100 so that we can short. We kind of got that yesterday. We pulled back here all the way past our 200, so we could short on this 200 here, and then maybe on the 100 and the 50, we could have placed any one of those orders would have been profitable for us because we traded down here below 107.40. So any one of those trades would have been nicely profitable for us. Even if it's 10, 15 pips. From the 200, it was more, is closer to 30 pips or so probably that we could have got out of that. So not a bad trade there. As far as the Aussie US goes, we're trading right now above the 720. All the moving averages are above the 720. The long-term moving averages stayed above the 720, even though the price actually did fall below the 720 a couple of times here in the last quarter of the day. And then at the break of the day, we traded at least the bid down here. I don't know if the ask was quite down here at the open of the day, but we traded below our 720. So that didn't matter to us. We know that direction's to the upside because of where our long-term moving averages are. So if we were buyers, we could have placed an order on this 50 and we'd pretty much be getting ready to enter that trade now. If you're entering now, you can probably use your 100 or your 200, whichever one suits your desire to trade. As far as CAD yen, we're trading below our 720 here. All the moving averages are below the 720. They're kind of bunching up here. We got a little consolidation kind of going in here pretty much for most of the day. We did widen out, start to widen out, get a little volatility there in the last half of the day. But it's kind of created its small little range, and now it looks like it's kind of entering that range again. So our opportunity here is to short. If we're going to do anything, we're going to short on this 100 here because that's the furthest moving average away from the current price. It's 86.33, and it's still fairly close to the other two. So that's as much of a conservative trade as we can get on this. We may pass on it in general if we have much better trades that we can take. As far as the Swiss yen goes, we're trading rate below our 720. All the moving averages are below the 720 except for the 200. The 200 is still above our 720 here, so we're buyers on that 200 if our trading plan allows. That's at 117.94. The 720 is at 117.90. It's only 4 pips, so that's not going to allow me to place a trade there because my goal is about 10 pips. My trading plan says 10 pips or more above or below the 720 is acceptable. But if you have a different plan, you can actually trade on that 200. As far as Euro Aussie goes, we're trading here above our 720. All the moving averages are in order to the upside here. Getting a little exhaustion in the move, and so we're getting a little bit of a pullback now, but we have to wait until it pulls back past our 50 or past our 100 before we become buyers. But we do have a full mature trend to the upside at this point. As far as the Euro CAD goes, we're trading here above our 720. All the moving averages are above the 720. We're below all of the long-term moving averages. So our first entry option is here on the 50 at this 150.32 mark. As far as the Euro Swiss goes, we've kind of started to consolidate again here. I'm just flipping back and forth above and below the 720 here. Right now, the rate's below the 720. All the moving averages are below the 720. Yesterday, we did pop up here well above the 720, but our long-term moving averages, 50, 100, and 200, all stayed below my 720. So we could have shorted on any one of those moving averages. Probably not the 50, it was very close. The 100 might have been better, or the 200. Either way, any one of those moving averages we would have shorted on, that would have given us a profitable trade. So now we have to wait to see what happens here, how this kind of shapes out. If we're still going to stay right kind of in this tight range that we're in, or if we're going to start to see these moving averages separate and get some real momentum to the downside. We'll go ahead and delete this trend line that we've got here as well, because we don't need that anymore. So let's go here, let's hit OK and delete. All right, great. Now, as far as the Euro Pound goes, we're trading above our 720 here. All the moving averages are above the 720, so we're buyers below the 50 or below this 100 when rate drops down. So it looks like we've got a little consolidation here happening as well. We did drop off at the end of the day, or the second half of the day, we started to drop off a little bit, but then we started to consolidate through the end of the day. So now we have to wait till we get pullbacks here to buy. As far as the Euro Yen goes, we're trading here below our 720. Rates, the moving averages are all below the 720 now. The 200 just jumped below the 720 at the beginning of our trading day today. So we can short on the, we can short when we pull back past our 50, past our 100. But we want to see this kind of develop a little bit more. Maybe the 200 get a little bit more below that 720, start to get a little real estate in between. And that will kind of, give us an idea that, that this is going to last as a downward trend. As far as the Euro New Zealand goes, right now we're trading up near our 720, rates below the 720, however, and all the moving averages, especially our long-term ones, are below the 720. So we're short sellers here. We can short sell on this 50, sitting up here at 167.60, or we can short sell on the 200 or the 100, right around the 167.50s mark. far as the Euro US goes, we're trading above our 720 here. We've got all the moving averages above the 720 as well. We did trade below our 200 earlier today, so we could have placed an order, and at the end of the day yesterday. And then I guess early today, we were still under the 200. We might not have had room to place a trade there just yet. So we could have placed a trade on the 50 or the 100 to buy. And right now we'd pretty much be entering those particular trades. As far as pound Aussie goes, we're trading below our 720. All the moving averages are really kind of close to that 720. I want to see this develop. We talked about this, yesterday, just trying to get development between the moving averages when they're so close to the 720. We had another chart that kind of was similar to this. We want to kind of let this develop before we do anything there. But we'd be short sellers because everything's below the 720. As far as the pound CAD goes, we're trading below our 720, our rate. Our 50 is below the 720, but our 200 and our 100 are still above the 720. So we can buy on those levels, the 100 sitting at 173.82. But if we want to be more conservative, we can use the 200 at 173.96. Those would be our entry points to buy. As far as the pound Swiss goes, we're trading below our 720 here. All the moving averages are in order to the downside. That gives us mature trend. So we can wait, we'll have to wait until we pull back past our 50, past our 100 to get our entry orders there to short. Pound yen, same thing. Trading below the 720, moving averages all in order, so full mature trend. Just wait on pullback to the 50 or 100. As far as the pound US looks a little bit different, right? We traded a little bit below the 720 before, but right now we jump back over the 720. We're buyers because all of our moving averages are above the 720, but mostly our long-term moving averages, 50, 200, and 100 are above the 720. So we can enter orders here on this 50 at 138.68 if it's within our plan. If not, then we can be more conservative and enter around this 138.89 area where our 200 and our 100 are sitting right now. Now, as far as the New Zealand CAD goes, we're trading below our or above our 720 here, but the rate is below our long-term moving averages. So we can buy on the 50 or buy on the 100 and 200 that are sitting here at 89.82 area. So we have nice couple options there where we can buy. As far as the New Zealand Swiss goes, we're trading right now. Looks like the ask is above the 720, the bid is below the 720. So right now rates below the 720, and but our long-term moving averages are still above the 720. So even though we traded way down here below, down in this 65.50s area, almost 65.40s, we still had our 200 and our 100 and our 50 well above the 720. So we're buyers at least on this 200 at 65.79 or at this 100 at 65.79 as well. Okay. New Zealand yen, we are trading below our 720, rates below the 720. However, our long-term 200 and 100 moving averages are above the 720. So conservatively, I'd be a buyer maybe here on this 200 at 77.61. Oops. Keep going here. New Zealand US. New Zealand US is trading above at 720. The moving averages are above the 720 as well, so we're buyers here. So now we're trading right now a little bit below our 50, a little bit below our 200. They're sitting around this 77.72, 77.71 area. If that's too close for comfort for you, you can wait for a little bit more conservative move up until this 100 moving average, which is 71.77. So we can buy at that level. As far as the US dollar CAD goes, we're trading below our 720. All the moving averages are in order to the downside. So we still have mature trend here to the downside. And so, but we're getting a little consolidation. You can see as of yesterday, even though we got a little bit of volatility, kind of just back and forth, we're still just kind of trading off to the right here. This is very flat here across the day. So what we're going to do is just kind of allow this to kind of set itself up. If it trades up here like it did yesterday, above our 200 or above our 100, we're going to short on those levels, also on our 50, right? That's what we're waiting for again. As far as the US dollar Swiss goes, we're trading well below our 720. So we're going to be short sellers because all the moving averages are below the 720. Anytime we pop up here above our 200 or so, we can short. Once we get some separation between the 50 and the 100, then we can short on those levels as well. But right now, looks like yesterday at the last half of the day, we did trade well above the 200. So we had an opportunity to short on that 200, and that would have given us a profitable trade through the end of the day. As far as US dollar yen goes, we're trading once again well below our 720. All the moving averages are in order to the downside, so we've got a full mature trend. So we're just waiting on pullbacks past our 50 or 100. Yesterday, we got it twice. We got two pullbacks here almost to our 200. And so we could have placed an order to short on this 100, and that would have given us a profitable trade through the first part of our trading today. All right. So there's some opportunities to trade. So even though the Dow was off today and it was trading off a little bit there, we still had an opportunity to place some trades and have some setups. So that helps us somewhat. So even if we don't get a lot of trades, let's say tomorrow, we can still always get a few trades going on, maybe early in the week next week. These setups might be still available for us as well. So that is our show for tonight. This is the last show for the week, so I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. I hope things go well for you tomorrow in your trading, but then also take some time to rest over the weekend. And I want to wish everybody a safe weekend as well. Just stay safe, and if you can social distance still, we still need to do some of that. But still have fun at some points too. It's still all right to do that too. All right. So I wish you guys a great weekend. We'll see you in the morning for the Daily Market Overview show. And then we'll see you again on Sunday night. All right. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful day of trading tomorrow. This once again is Derek with iLi Academy, and you've been witnessing the Trading the Tech show. Have a great day. Bye-bye.